Hello folks, Fuzzfinger here, thank you for joining me. And before we do anything else in this video, I just want to point out that I think I found the new time lost proto drake for Mr. Pandaria. And I'm just trying to come around now so you can see a view of the mob. Presumably it's level 92, which means no one's been able to kill it yet. And, oh, it's just escaping me. There it is, look, you can just see it in the sky there. Alani, or Alani. And as you can see, it's a rare mob. It's got a nice, unique dragon mount design to it. So I'm pretty much 90% sure this is going to be the new time lost proto drake. So good luck finding that when the servers hit live. That's probably going to be the only time I actually ever see it. But the main purpose of this video is to give you a quick overview of the new zone that's come out, which is this, the Valley of Eternal Blossoms. It's a level 90 zone. I'm only actually level 89 at the minute, which means I'm not really able to pick up any quests. There was a couple that I did, but apart from that, nothing else really. And obviously, because I'm still level 89, I still can't fly to show you everything I'd want to show you. But let's see what we can see. And the interesting thing about this zone, oh by the way, I forgot to mention, you might have seen those a little bit earlier on at the start of this video. That's the statues that are on the login screen. And something I did want to mention was that the aesthetic in this zone is absolutely wonderful. It really is beautiful. As far as I'm aware, Alliance and Horde get their own little mini faction hubs, not quite as big as, say, Stormwind or anything like that, but something to keep us occupied while we're in Pandaria. And being a human paladin, I'm going to just run over to the Alliance hub now, which is this here. As you can see, it's not massive, the Shrine of 7 stars. And I think it's something like the Shrine of 2 stars or something for the Horde, but I might have said that wrong. So this is split into different floors or levels, and the ground level, or the first level if you're American, is basically just got a few quests. Obviously I can't do them yet because I'm not the right level. Cloud Serpent, I believe we're going to be able to buy those as mounts as well, which is nice because they look freaking awesome. And anyone who says otherwise is well, wrong, factually wrong. And yeah, so this level is basically quests, and there's this dude here which says he's a craftsman, quartermaster, but he's not linked up to any vendor items at the minute, so I'm guessing that is to come, or maybe you just can't access it until a higher level. So the faction there, Golden Lotus, this is obviously going to be a new faction in the game. I'm not sure if this is purely for the Alliance and the Horde get their own in their own little faction city thing, or if it's just shared and we just get different quests. I'm guessing the latter. And now if we go up here, we can go to reach the next floor, where we have the traditional Flight Master. Regent Vendor, there's the Flight Master, I've already took that. And before we go on and look at any more of this place, I just want to have a peer over this edge, and you can see, just get a better view there, sorry. Oh, it's annoying, so I'm not being able to fly. The wonderful palace, which is actually a dungeon, which is around there on the map. And just there, I haven't explored, is the Horde capital for Pandaria. So we'll go and have a look at the palace in a moment as well. Going through the main entrance, as you can see, the art and the aesthetic I just think is really incredible. Blizzard have really probably done some of the best art I've ever seen in World of Warcraft here. And let's just have a nosy on, see what's over here. This is although very Pandaren, no doubt about it. Reminds me a little bit of Ironforge as well, with the lava and the fire and the big statues. So, not much going on in here, a few NPCs chatting. And you have an auction house. Yes, this will be your access to the Pandaren auction house, so that you no longer, as was the case with Wrath of the Lich King back in the day, have to return to Stormwind or Orgrimmar. There we have it. things are a little bit expensive at the minute. Well, I say expensive, I think prices are just all over the place since how this is beta. And lots of auctioneers, so depending on how crowded the area gets, there should always be at least one free for you. Some more NPCs here. Some benches in case you want to sit down and have a brew. But you can't really interact with these NPCs, so I don't know whether that's something that's going to change later on. And we saw this race in... oh, crikey, what was the first zone called? Jade Forest, that was it. Those fish people. I do get a feeling that these NPCs will be a little bit more lively as time goes on and by the time the game's released, but at the minute they don't do anything at all. There's your mailbox, and let's go over to the other side and have a look. So we've got our auction house, we've got our standard innkeeper, flight master, and over here somewhere there's another mailbox. There's the innkeeper. We should find, let's see if there's anything up here. Or through here maybe. Armourer. Guessing that will sell some stuff as well. Okay, well I know for a fact there's going to be profession trainers around somewhere. And there's your banker and your guild bank. Arcane reforging, so there will be profession trainers as well. I'm not sure why I haven't been able to find them. Maybe they're just not activated yet. But yeah, you've got anything you'd need from while you're leveling in Pandaria here. Anything you can find in your traditional faction cities will be found here, as you've just seen. And as I mentioned, we haven't seen them, but there will be profession trainers as well. So there'll be never any reason to return to Azeroth, I don't think, once you've come to Pandaria, unless you want to go back to one of your older cities for whatever reason. But now, can we jump down here? I do want to just quickly show you a little bit more of the dungeon from the outside, the palace, because it does look awesome. But that's the Shrine of the 7 Stars anyway. As I mentioned, it's not massive, which is a good thing because you don't have to run around or fly around for ages trying to find what you need. Everything's in one place, quite close to each other, which is pretty good. And this path here will take you to the palace. Not much we can do there though at the minute, since we haven't got a group. Why you would dismount for 2 metres worth of underground tunnel, I do not know. But there we have it, and wow, look at that. Isn't that just incredible? I can pretty much see where Blizzard have been spending most of their time on this expansion, and that'll be designing all the art. I don't think there's anything we've seen in Cataclysm that really even comes close to the sort of level of detail that Blizzard have given us here. It really is amazing, I think. So, I thought I'd show you a first glimpse at this anyway. This is the Vale, I think. I'll just have to double check the name. Yeah, the Vale of Eternal Blossoms. And this is only the first part of the zone. I haven't been able to do any questing here, as I mentioned. But I hope you've enjoyed this little peek at the level 90 zone in Mr. Pandaria. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. And thank you very much for joining me. I've been Fuzzfinger, and I'll see you next time.